What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again back here with another off-season rebuild, continuing with the teams that never made it into the postseason, and of course we have the San Antonio Spurs today. Now the Spurs had a chance to make a run at the play-in tournament this season, but obviously that all went south when Wembanyama got hurt, and then Fox eventually got shut down as well, but it basically went south when Wembanyama was shut down for the rest of the season. So instead, they find themselves in the lottery with an extremely bright future. So let's go ahead and jump in and do the San Antonio Spurs off-season rebuild in NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 50,000 subs, and YouTube tells me about 56% of the people that watch these videos aren't sub. So change that if you fall into that 56%. And also thank you guys so much for 46,000 subs. So we're less than 4,000 away from that 50k mark, which would be awesome to reach. I am recording this right after Houston and Golden State game 2. Hopefully Jimmy Butler is a-okay, but let's go ahead and look at the San Antonio Spurs. So obviously, like I said, Wemby got hurt and he was shut down for the rest of the season. So basically their season went south after that. They acquired De'Aaron Fox at the trade deadline. Didn't really feel like they gave up much either to do it. And so this team is set up very well. They also have 2 lottery picks this offseason via Atlanta and their own. So the Spurs could be very dangerous, especially if they get lucky and win the Cooper Flag sweepstakes, which would be insane, but it's not impossible. They have 2 chances at it. So let's simulate the rest of the playoffs, and we'll see who goes on to win the whole thing. So we got the Knicks and the Pacers in the conference finals, but it's Knicks and Warriors. Okay. And the Knicks go on to beat the Warriors in 7 games. So here are your retirements. Chris Paul does retire. And here are the rest of your retirements. But let's go ahead and get straight into that draft lottery, shall we? Because like I said, we have 2 cracks at hopefully jumping up into that top 3. So 13 via Atlanta, and then obviously you have a 6% chance at getting the #1 overall pick. So we'll see if we get lucky with any of them. If nothing else, we get 2 lottery picks. We're excited about that at the very least. So do any of them jump up? So Atlanta is going to pick 14 via the Kings, obviously. Number 13, does this pick jump up with a 0.8% chance? It does not. It's going to be 13. So obviously we have to hope that our pick jumps up, but we'll see. And it does not. So we get to pick at 8 and 13. So still 2 lottery picks to add to this roster which is still nice to have, obviously. Staff signing, Greg Popovich. He's having a lot of health issues right now, so not really sure what his future is as far as coaching is concerned, but I'm going to leave him as the head coach. I know I'm pretty sure he signed a new extension or whatever, but let's go ahead and get into draft night, and let's go ahead and draft with 8 and 13. Obviously, with the Spurs being on a trajectory of trying to get into the playoffs, it could be, you could trade these picks for something if you wanted to on draft night, but I'm actually kind of cool with, obviously, our Castle and Fox backcourt, which we like a lot. So we're going to leave that the way it is. And we can go ahead and move De'Aaron Fox to point guard right now. So we'll move De'Aaron Fox back to point guard. Castle will play the 2 guard. You have Vassell at the 3 right now. And you have Keldon and Barnes at the 4. More than likely, I'm going to roll with something else there. And then we got Wembanyama, Sandro. But let's go ahead and just draft first. And then I won't rule out the idea of these rookies maybe not staying on the team. So Harper and Flag go. Ace Bailey goes, of course. Luwak goes. You got VJ Edgecombe gone, Will Riley, and then the Raptors get Liam McNeely. So who do we want? So we have Trey Johnson, which to me feels like the pick here to start things off. So I do think I'm going to go ahead and take Trey Johnson with this first selection. The Texas guard coming to San Antonio. Noah goes, Igor goes, and then Carter Bryant goes, and then Derek Queen is gone. Okay, so who do we want? So we have Jeremiah Fears, and we have Asa Noel, and then we have like Nipple. I don't know how to say his name, but Nipple, I think is how you say it, or something like that. Jace Richardson. So I said we needed a 4, so I do think I'm going to go ahead and take Asa Noel here. So we'll add him to the team. Jeremiah Fears would have been nice too, but we do have Fox and Castle in the backcourt already, so I'm really not sure what Fears' future would be here. We had a late second or a middle of the pack second. I'm going to let the assistant GM take care of that. So we get Trey Johnson, Asa Noel, and Alex Tuhey added to the team. Again, I won't rule out the idea of trading one of these 2 guys or both of them for a bigger, veteran if we wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and accept McLaughlin and Blake. I'm actually going to decline McLaughlin, but I will accept Blake Wesley. Brandon Sohan and Wemby will be accepted, obviously. And then we can, let those guys get a free agency. We'll see if they come back with their qualifying offers. So we have Charles, Sandro, and McLaughlin all as free agents. So we have De'Aaron Fox, Blake Wesley, Castle, Trey Johnson we just added with Malachi Branham. We have Champagny, We have Harrison Barnes and Keldon Johnson and Jeremy Sohan. So a little bit of a logjam at the power 4. I forgot about Sohan, actually. So Sohan could start at the 4. I must have just missed him. But yeah, Sohan, I'm still fine with starting at the 4. He does develop pretty well in 2K. So if he starts at the 4, that's not a big deal. Or if we eventually move things around, we'll figure it out. But for now, I think the main thing I'd like to do is probably try to trade like Keldon Johnson away to give him a new situation somewhere else, and then Barnes isn't expiring, so maybe we could use that at the deadline if we feel like it. But I guess we do need a backup center, so I think that's where I'm going to try to go with this, although we more than likely could just sign one. But I'm going to see if we can trade for a backup center using one of these contracts we have, because we don't really need to keep Keldon and Barnes. We kind of have a logjam at that 4 right now. So to scratch that first idea of trading for a backup 5, really didn't see one that I liked at the moment trying to use these contracts. So I think the only thing we're truly going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and give Daron Sharp an offer to be our backup center, who's only 23 years old. So he is restricted, so there's no guarantee we get him, but I think he'd be kind of a perfect backup center to add to this young core. So let's see if we're able to land him here. So that means we won't be bringing back Charles or Sandro, I guess, if we do this. That's if we get Daron Sharp to come over here, and it looks like we'll be able to get Daron Sharp to be our backup center. At 23 years old, I love the idea of him being able to back up Wembanyama for the foreseeable future. But I think I'm going to take this roster into the season because there's just so many possibilities we can potentially look at the deadline. I can see Stephon Castle's up to an 88. We know De'Aaron Fox will stay well. We know Castle develops like crazy. I've seen him go up to like a 96 in the 2K sim, which is just kind of absurd. Jeremy Sohan's up to an 81. Branham is up. Daron Sharp is up. And Barnes is down. But I would love the idea of taking advantage of some of the contracts we have at the deadline. Trying to speed up this process of being a contender, because the Spurs are right there now. Obviously, there's some rumors about maybe adding Durant this offseason as well. We could have done that, but I didn't really want to go that route. I actually want to stay patient here, as patient as possible. We'll be at the deadline still trying to make moves because, like I said, we're very close. Once these guys are clicking in all cylinders, which I assume that's what's going to happen this season, we can add another piece of the puzzle, and we'll be in a great position to do whatever we want, depending on what's available at the deadline. So we're going to move this to a balanced system for now under Greg Popovich, and we'll take a look to see what we have going on. So let's look at the rotation first and foremost so we know what we're going in with. So, well, Fox and Wembanyama need to be healthy, so let me fix that here. Let me fix that for just a second. Let me fix this. All right, so that's fixed. So this is what the rotation will truly look like. So it's De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, and Wembanyama. To me, that's a damn good starting 5, other than at the 4 position, I would not mind upgrading either one of these, whether it's trading Vassell or trading Jeremy Sohan. I'm not opposed to it. It all depends on what forwards are available, obviously. Wemby will remain the starting center, or if we, maybe ever move him to power forward for whatever reason, but probably more than likely going to keep him in center. Keldon off the bench. Branham, Daron Sharp, Harrison Barnes, and Trey Johnson will be a rotation. So that leaves Champagnie, Wesley, and Noel out of the rotation for now. But this should be a very fun team, and it should be a good team. Power Rank has us 3rd overall. Obviously, with Wembanyama, we should be a damn good team. So, more than likely, I will hopefully see you guys at the deadline because we're looking to expand on this roster. We have a bunch of expiring salary we can use with a $19 million expiring contract with Barnes. So hopefully we can take advantage of that and get a major addition at the deadline to add to this team around Wemby, Fox, and Stephon Castle. We are starting the trade deadline as promised, as we're 33-17 on the season right now. We're the 2nd seed in the West, but like I told you guys, we have a bunch of salary we can use at our disposal right now. Wembanyama still has 1 year left on his rookie contract, so I'm looking to take advantage of adding another player to make this team even more terrifying. So I have the guy in mind that I want to go for. It's someone I haven't traded for in quite some time. There has been some rumors about it in the past. Let me give you a hint. He is in Utah. Yeah, that's right. We're going for Lauri Markkanen. I think Lauri Markkanen as a 3rd option would fit extremely well next to Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox, which is why I love it. You'll still have Stephon Castle as well, but I think Markkanen would make us just super dangerous, and as a 3rd guy, you really can't do much better than that. Obviously, he's been the #1 option in Utah, but he'd take a back seat. Now, he does have 4 years left in his deal, so I wish his contract was just a little bit shorter, but still 37%, 17 points per game, 34% from 3. But I'm hoping he'll get better looks, obviously, in San Antonio, and his shot will go up, and he'll much better quality shots. So we're going to try to make this happen. We're going to get Lauri Markkanen on this team if we can control it. So I'm going to offer them Harrison Barnes expiring salary to start things off. We need $22 more million in here. So I don't think I'll do Vassell, but I will go ahead and do Keldon Johnson's contract in here, obviously. And then we could, if we can do, let's see, do we got Wesley? We can do Asa Noel, who may never get an opportunity to start here with adding Lauri Markkanen. So if we added Asa Noel, they get a young player there. We get Elijah Harkless off them. And let's say we take Lundberg as well, Axel Lundberg. So Barnes, Keldon Johnson, and Asa Noel for Lauri Markkanen, who doesn't even have much trade value, which is interesting. So let's say it's only one pick we give up as well. Maybe, you know, Danny Ainge loves his draft picks. So maybe we just give them one first. They get Keldon, who's only 25 to 26 years old. Asa Noel, who's a young player. They get Barnes' expiring contract and one first. Let's see if they decide to say yes. And we get Lauri Markkanen added to the squad. So Markkanen is listed at small forward right now. We're going to move him to power forward. He goes up in overall as well. So this is going to be a very dynamic rotation, in my opinion, going forward. So Fox, Castle Vassell, Lauri Markkanen, Wembanyama, Sohan, Branham, Day'Ron Sharpe, and Trey Johnson. Very excited and very optimistic about this team. And then the only other thing I want to look at is obviously shot tendencies. So Wembanyama's is obviously high, like it should be. Fox is really high too, but his scoring load isn't scoring that much this season. I'll just say that. I'm bringing Vassell shots down just a little bit. I'm going to give Markkanen a little bit of a tough or a little bit of a high shot tendency with an 83. But like I said, I'm hoping he gets much better quality shots in a San Antonio Spurs uniform. So we'll see if that trade works out for us, and I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. So at the end of year 1, Shea wins MVP. Flag is your rookie of the year. DiVincenzo is your 6-man Wemby defensive player. You got Evan Mobley most improved, Steph Curry clutch player, and Chris Finch coach of the year. And executive goes to Nathan Mack and Chris Finch for the Timberwolves. Here's your All-NBA first team. Obviously, I expect to see Wemby on here. He does make All-NBA second, All-NBA third team, All-Defensive first team, and All-Defensive second team. So obviously Wembanyama made it as well. Here's our rookie teams. Does Trey Johnson represent? He does. Obviously didn't have a great role, but he averaged 9 points off the bench on 44% from 3. So he's more than likely going to take the Malachi Branham role, because Branham, I'd like to keep, but I will tell you, he just asked for an $18 million extension. I don't know if we can get to that. That might be a little too steep, although, man, got 12 points on 44% from 3. So pretty good shot diet, or pretty good stats from him, obviously. So it's going to be tough to lose him if we do lose him. So let's look at the stats, though. So if we look at the player stats all around, you had 23 from Victor Wembanyama, 18 from Fox, 16 from Lauri Markkanen, who had, so still around 34%. But I'm excited to see him in a San Antonio Spurs uniform full time to see if his three-point shot would be better, because I feel like it could be with the amount of open shots he would get on this team. But we'll see. We get to play the Denver Nuggets in round 1. So getting Jokic in round 1 definitely tests us pretty early. Also, let's shrink this bench utilization down quite a bit. That might also help a little bit with Fox's, scoring and all that. So that does kick out Champagny maybe out of the rotation, but that's fine. We want to run 9 deep in the playoffs. Okay, so Denver at this point probably looks the same if I had to guess. They have added Capella, so maybe they finally have a center they can trust on the floor when Jokic is off the floor, but we'll see. Somebody current round against the Nuggets, and we will be in a 3-2 series with them having the lead right now. So we have to win Game 6 to force a Game 7, and we may just be too young maybe to make that happen, but I don't know. I don't know if that's really a good excuse, because obviously we've added Markkanen and Fox, so we have some veterans here, but unfortunately we just did not go far. But we did get the second seed in the regular season, so it's still a step up from where we've been. But unfortunately, to see it end like that does suck in a way. So here are your retirements. LeBron James is calling it Al Horford, Brooke, and Russell Westbrook all calling it a career. For the lottery, I'm pretty sure we still have the Hawks pick this offseason. It might just be a pick swap, but still a pick we could use nonetheless. So the Knicks get number 1, which will be going back to the Wizards. And then do we have a pick in the lottery? No, Suns via Memphis, Pelicans via Milwaukee, Thunder via Utah. So number 1 and number 2 need to be fixed, which is hilarious. We have the 16th pick via Atlanta, so we get the 16th pick. So nothing special necessarily, but it's still a pick, like I said. But let's go ahead, fix the number 1 and number 2 overall pick, and we'll kind of figure out what we're doing next. I don't know if we'll be doing a whole lot, because obviously our big addition was Markkanen, but we shall see. So let's see who we can get to fall to us at pick 16. So we have Mikal Brown, Braden Burries, Isaiah Harwell. I do think I'm going to go ahead and take Mikal Brown here, though, with this selection. So Mississippi guard, welcome. So we'll have Trey Johnson and Mikal Brown as our backup guards for the future, which feels great. We had a bunch of early seconds, but we probably won't have enough roster spots to sign all of them. So we're going to decline Tuhi as well. Castle and Wemby and Champagny. Do we accept Champagny? I think I will for now. And then player options, we have Sohan, who's a free agent, Branham's a free agent, and Blake Wesley. I don't think I'll be bringing back Blake Wesley with the addition of Mikal Brown, obviously. Now added to the team as the backup point guard. And then Malachi Branham might have to go as well, just based off. Eventually, we're going to have to pay Wemby, and Sohan's already going to be asking for a contract this offseason, which I do want to keep him, but we'll see, what it's going to be, what it costs to keep him. So, Branham has asked for $23 million. Unfortunately, I just don't think I can get there with how much we're going to be paying Fox and then Wemby. So, and then Fox and free agent, not to mention. I just almost glossed over that. So, Fox and free agent too. So, I'm going to go ahead and give him his new deal, flat rate. I'll give him a 4-year deal to match Markkanen's contract. And then Sohan, I'm going to wait. And again, I'm not bringing back Blake Wesley no matter what. I don't think I'll be bringing back Branham either, but I'll wait on it just in case. So Fox is going to get his contract offer, clearly. We didn't want to lose him for nothing. Branham, I'm still undecided on, but I know Trey Johnson could take over that role, and we could save a lot of money there. But there could be a way where we could move Trey Johnson to 3. I don't know. We'll see. It all depends. Sohan, of course, is somebody I want to keep around too, but it all depends on how much he's asking for, because we just know the team's going to get expensive eventually. So let's go to day 12 because he's to the 2. I wouldn't mind bringing back, but we got to keep in mind on how much they truly want. So Sohan, I mean, we can give him like a 2-year. That's fine. We give him a 3-year, $19 million per year deal. Branham, okay, I can get behind this. We can get 3 years, $15 million in here for Branham. And those are 2 contracts. They wouldn't be hard to move if we needed to move them, I guess. So Castle's up to an 92. Vassell is down to an 83. Trey Johnson's up to an 82, which is why I think Trey Johnson can move down to the 3 now, and he might even go up in overall. Might even start over Vassell. So he's up to an 84. So we like that a lot. So we'll move that the way it is right now. Branham will be the backup 2 then. Champagny will probably be kicked out of the rotation. So I guess we could have declined him if we wanted to. But this looks like a legitimate starting 5, or a legitimate rotation, not even just a starting 5. So let's go into this new season with a full season, full training camp with Markkanen, Fox, and Castle and Wemby as a big 4. And then you could throw Trey Johnson in there as well. So hopefully this year things go much better in the playoffs, because obviously we were good in the regular season, but once we got to the playoffs, not so great. So power rank is 3rd overall. So let's go ahead and see 4.5 balance, which is what we want to see, obviously. And we will rock with that. So Vassell is still going to start, which is totally fine. So Fox, Castle, Vassell, Markkanen, Wembanyama, Trey Johnson, Sohan, Malachi Branham, and Daron Sharp. I mean, we have a damn good bench as well. And we have not even really gotten that far in this video yet. So the team is only going to keep getting better from here. Wembanyama is already a 98, which is awesome. So shot tendencies wise, just want to look at again. So Fox's is high. Trey Johnson's is somewhat high. And then Markkanen's is somewhat high as well. Vassell's is kind of low, which is fine. I'll bring Trey Johnson down just a tad bit, because I do want Markkanen to be that 3rd guy for us. And I'm hoping he does show up in that way, but we'll see. We'll do something like that. We'll bring Sohan's touch tendency down a little bit. Okay, so, I mean, you would think this team would be good, but we'll see. Regular season, we should be good at the very least. And then playoffs remains to be seen. But so far, we're off to a fantastic start. So I'll see you guys in the postseason, where hopefully we can go far this time. So at the end of year 2, Wembanyama wins MVP, AJ DeBanza Rookie of the Year, Anthony's your 6th man. Wemby also wins Defensive Player. So this season was pretty dominant, 66-16. So the expectation is obviously going far in the playoffs and potentially winning a championship this season on Wembanyama's rookie contract, which would be awesome before we have to pay him. But obviously he's going to get an absolute bag this offseason. So we are the 1st seed in the West, which we saw, and here are your player stats. So you had 23 from Victor Wembanyama, 20 from De'Aaron Fox, 16 from Castle, and 15 from Trey Johnson, and 14 from Lauri Markkanen. So a lot of stats to go around. Markkanen went up to 37%, which is, like I said, I feel like he was going to get much better shots here, and it worked out that way. Castle, Fox, and Wemby are all around 30%, and then Trey Johnson shooting 45 right now. So shout out to Trey Johnson. But let's go ahead and see what this is going to look like going to the playoffs. We got bounced last year, and now we get to play Markkanen's former team, who now has Keontae George, Dylan Harper, Keldon, Jabari, Walker Kessler, Austin Reeves. They have a pretty interesting team in Utah, but we'll see how it goes. Somebody come around against the Jazz, and they win game 1, but we will win the rest. And now we get to play Houston, who, like I said earlier, tied it up against the Warriors. Jalen Green had himself a bounce back game after game 1 being disappointing. So let's see if we can take down the Rockets to get to the conference finals. Someone in current round, and we will beat the Rockets in 5. So far, so good. And now play the Dallas Mavericks, who have Anthony Davis and Lively. So they definitely have the size to deal with Wemby, but we win game 1 pretty easily. They win game 2. We win game 3. It's a tied series. They're up 3-2. Okay. So the Mavericks may have what it takes to take us down here, but I would love nothing more to be in the finals this year if possible. And it's looking like the Mavericks may beat us in the conference finals. So it is once again another step in the right direction, but dropping down to the Mavericks there does suck. I will not lie to you. Cade Cunningham is your finals MVP. So I don't really know if there's a whole lot I'll be doing this offseason. I'll be completely honest with you and completely transparent. We all know the Spurs are set up very well. They're set up very successfully. They're going to be in a good position. They're going to win championships if things all go right. And they've won championships in the past before anyway. But the Jazz have the 1 pick, which actually that pick is protected from the Lakers, so they technically don't have it. We have another Atlanta pick this offseason, but again, it's a very late pick, so the Hawks continue to be good in the simulation. Popovich will stick around, but I'm going to go ahead and fix that Jazz pick, and then we have to go resign Wembanyama, and we'll probably be running it back with a very similar team if I had to guess. So I'm letting the assistant GM take whoever they want with that late pick from the Hawks. It's going to be Caden Allen, which I'm okay with. Here are your player options. We're going to accept every single one of these. And then qualifying offers. Wemby, of course, as I mentioned, is the free agent to watch here. And I think Champagne is the other one, but we're not going to keep Champagne. We are going to obviously give Wembanyama his contract immediately. The hope and the path is going on to win a championship this year. So this is the team we're locked into, and it's going to stay that way. So we'll see if it works out, because we're obviously paying a lot of money towards this team. And guys should only be getting better this offseason. So let's see if this 10-man rotation develops further than, or goes further than we expected as far as development is concerned. We know Castle, like I said, I've seen him go up to a 96 overall. So let's see what he is right now. So he's a 93 now. We have an 88 Fox, an 86 Trey Johnson, and an 80 Mikael Brown, and 83 Sohan. So all of this is looking fantastic and what we wanted to see. Sharp doesn't develop at all, but Lundberg is up too. But all right, let's go ahead, get into the rotation for year number 3. Hopefully 3rd time's a charm, and it would not shock me at all if this 3rd year we bring home a championship. But let's go take a look at the rotation. So power rank has us 5th overall, and here is your proficiency. So it's going to be 4.5 balanced, and here is what it's looking like. So Fox, Castle, Vassell, Markkanen, Wembanyama, Trey Johnson as the 6th man, Sohan, Branham, and Brown, and that does leave Daron Sharp out of the rotation. But I'm going to go ahead and run 10 deep, so Sharp does get some minutes in the regular season, but in the playoffs, it'll most likely be shrink down to 9-man rotation again. We started off hot really hot last year, and yeah, the same thing's happening again. So we'll see if we can go 82-0. More than likely, that's not going to happen, but it would be pretty wild if it did. So we finally get a loss there. 2 losses in a row. But I will see you guys at the end of year 3. Expectation is hopefully bringing home a championship. We've made it to the 1st round, to the conference finals. So hopefully the 3rd time we get the championship, but we'll see. The Victor Wembanyama here with another MVP trophy. Stokes wins Rookie of the Year. Gigi Jackson 6th man in Denver. Wembanyama again with Defensive Player as well. And again, Popovich wins Coach of the Year as we went 68-14. So we won 2 more games than last year, which is exciting. But all that matters is bringing home that Larry O'Brien. We're the 1st in the West again. We got bounced by Dallas in the conference finals last year. We had 23 from Wemby, 17 from Fox, 16 from Castle, 16 from Markkanen, 13 from Trey Johnson, 10 from Vassell, 9 from Branham, and 9.5 from Jeremy Sohan. So, without further ado, let's shrink this down to a 9-man rotation, and let's get straight into these playoffs. So, we get to play the Minnesota Timberwolves in round 1, who have Sid Gay as their starting center. So, I imagine Wembanyama is going to absolutely torch him down low, and they win game 1, but we win the rest. Okay, I was a little nervous after I saw the game 1 victory, but now we play the Thunder, which obviously the Thunder are going to be tough, but the one thing they don't have is they don't have Hardenstein anymore, but they do have Fears, and they have Will Riley. So here it goes. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us, and we sweep them, and now we get Golden State or Dallas, and it will be the Warriors. Okay, so the Warriors must have signed Jokic. They always do for some reason. But Stephen Curry, Podziemski, Moses Moody, Jalen Duren, and Jokic down low. So they definitely have the size to deal with us. A Steph and Jokic duo is nothing to play around with. Steph at this point is still averaging 27. So still, Steph and Jokic is a scary duo. But let's see how it goes. They also have Reed Shepherd, I just noticed, I think. Yeah, Reed Shepherd's also off their bench. Interesting. All right, we play, well, I guess we're playing the Warriors, and we play the Pistons or the Pacers if we beat the Warriors. So we're up 1-0, 116-89, 29-18 from Wemby. Game 2 goes to us. So far, so good. We're up 3-0. So as long as we don't blow a 3-0 lead, we're in the finals, and we sweep the Warriors. So this went exactly as planned, but now we get to play the Pistons. We have Jaden Ivey, or I guess we don't play the Pistons yet. Do we play them now? Wait a minute. The Pacers are coming back. And it is going to be the Pistons no matter what. So the Pacers almost made the 3-1 comeback. But all right, we get to play the Detroit Pistons in the finals. So can we take down Detroit to bring home a title? We shall see. Game 1 goes to us. Beat them by 2. That was a close battle. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. And it's looking like that might be all she wrote if I had to guess. But Detroit is going to maybe push this to a Game 5. It's a close one. They take the lead. And they will push a Game 5 to happen. So we'll put Markkanen back in the starting 5. Trey Johnson will also join it. That's fine. We wanted to celebrate in front of our home fans anyway. Unless if 2K has the recipe for us blowing a 3-0 lead, which we better not. Because I'm going to be very upset. But I don't think we will. It looks like we have the lead here. So we're going to end off this video with a Spurs championship. Obviously, the Spurs were a very easy offseason rebuild. We have Wembanyama for crying out loud. And a Casta developing like he does in 2K. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. So, enjoy the playoff games tonight, and also enjoy the NFL draft if you're watching that. So, thank y'all for watching. This one was fairly easy, I will admit. Obviously, they have already added Fox at this point, and they have Wemby, so this one wasn't too hard. So, I will see you guys in the next one on Friday. But for now, this is Crushables. I'm saying peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.